Yeah, they want you to take the risk and they want to take the reward without the effort.
Exactly.
How many of those do you believe you have to make an offer on right now in order to get one?
100.
100. So
100 to 1.
100 to 1.
That's pretty much how it works. I'm looking at probably 10, 15 deals a day. And most of them I look at in 2 minutes and say, no, but then there's certain ones that look interesting, then I put a pencil to it.
When you say look at it, what's like the top 5 things that you're analyzing real quick on a deal from your personal metrics to know, oh, this RV park or this mobile home park would work or it wouldn't work?
Income to price, and then what's the upside? What can you do to improve it to make more money?
And is there a percentage of income to price that you're trying to hit?
Well, it's got least break even. I prefer to walk in. If I'm putting money in it, I want to make profit right off the bat.
Yes. So our goal is we got a margin of safety that's protecting us. Second goal is a profit right out the gate. 3, when we value add or rehab or just re-rent in some of these cases, that our margin can go up.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. This is beautiful.
I'm not one to buy without making money. I'm older, so I don't have 20 to 30 years to wait to see the profit at the other end. If I was 30 or 40, that's a different game.
Yeah, 100%.
Anton, I got a question for you on that note. Yeah. John, you're doing 1 deal out of 100 right now. That's kind of like your success ratio, which obviously that's how you get the deals, right? Creative financing. Anton, my question for you on that note is, what's your strategy for working with a seller that wants more than what their property is worth? Or what is your kind of like timeline for getting to the point where you get them to sell the property to you at a reasonable, fair market value?
So you have to remember, one, I was raised by builders, developers, and investors. So I've always been taught to look at things really long-term cycle. So there are sellers that I could tell they're overpriced, and then 3 years later end up doing a deal with them. So my strategy has always been very simple. Right out the gate, I start poking at what I believe the price should be, or the ballpark, to check the temperature in the barometer. They want $1,050,000, and I think it's 900. Hey, as I'm standing here, I'm sitting here thinking about this, what's something like 850 sound like to you? And I'm just going to shoot it right across the bow to see if we're even in the same ballpark. Second is we go through the education process. The education process, like you were just saying, is we put together numbers, we put together comps, and demonstrate to them how we're arriving at our value. This is how we're arriving at our value. This is the homework that we've done. You can see these other ones are selling for this. This is what these other assets are performing at, and then same thing. Based on this, what do you want to sell it for? Oh, I still want 1.1. Okay, so we're still 200 grand apart. Then I start going into something creative. Like, okay, so if you want 1.1, how could we build a bridge really creatively in order to make this work? Are you willing to take 900 grand on a note?
At interest only.
At interest only?
Right. Or no payments. I've done them where I've done no payments for a year.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So we could maybe delay it or something of that nature. But a lot of times what you run into, to kind of fully answer this question, is you run into this emotional roadblock and you run into the greed roadblock. Regardless of it's actually worth the value or not, people always want more money than what they're worth and what the buyer's generally willing to pay. At that point, what we do is we back away from the deal, and that person just ends up going on some type of a consistent follow-up schedule. And so that consistent follow-up schedule for us quite often is 2 weeks or 4 weeks. And every 2 weeks, I pick the phone back up. Hey, I know we spoke, about your mobile home park, 2 weeks ago. You said you wanted 1.1. I said 900. It wasn't working. How's 900 look today?
Exactly.
And then we end up following up over a long period of time. And I would say probably 10 or 15% of the time we get the deal right up front. And the vast majority, we get the deal later on in some type of follow-up because a life event happens. Something has changed. They want to move closer to their kids. Whatever it may be. And by us following up with them, we've demonstrated that level of trust and that level of commitment. And so with that trust and that commitment, they go, oh, you know what? John can pull the trigger. I need to call him now because, even though we didn't do a deal, we've talked over the last 6 months.
Right. I've chased houses for 5 to 10 years and have gotten them. Yeah. Just consistency. But like I say, I've chased one house for years. It was owned by 2 brothers. Finally, one of the brothers passed away. Then they were motivated to sell. Yeah. And I got it for less than I would have paid them originally.
Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one too.